All right. Good afternoon, truth seekers. First, want to start this off by giving all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, who is the Father of all the righteous. And I would also like to acknowledge Wisdom, who is the Mother of the righteous. So, I'm going to talk about a few things today. Well, I want to talk about some things today, but the topic is, where does the N word come from, people? It's a very strong derogatory word that's in our culture, and it is very offensive. Where does it come from, and what does it really mean? Well, when you do a simple Google search, let's see. When you do a simple Google search, it says a contemptuous term for a black or dark skinned person. I've also heard people, actually it was a YouTube content creator who said that it derived from the word niggard. So niggard, definition for that is a stingy or ungenerous person. Okay. So a stingy or ungenerous person, to me, it doesn't describe all people of dark complexion or melanated complexion. I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't fit. So you can keep this in mind, but let's see. I'm gonna show you what I think it means and how it ties in to the definition of the actual word. So let's go here to Acts. So we're gonna go here to Acts, starting off chapter 13. Now, this is why I say that there's truth in the New Testament, but the foundation of that New Testament goes against the foundation of the New Testament, because they're testaments. And the New Testament and the Old Testament are two different covenants. The Old Testament is the Old Covenant, which they say is the Old Covenant. The New Testament is supposed to be the New Covenant, okay? These are the promise. Like the promise that was given to Abraham, well, in the New Testament they say it's a new promise. So that's the foundation of these two different books, okay? So that's when I'm referring to when I say that the Old and New Testament oppose one another. The foundational teachings oppose one another. But there's truth in the New Testament. Okay, I've said this from the start. All right, so in Acts 13, chapter 13, verse 1, it states this. Now there were at Antioch in the church that was there prophets and teachers, Barnabas and Simeon, who was called, the pronunciation for this word, they say Niger, but the pronunciation is Niger. You can see it right there. Niger, that's the pronunciation. And Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, who had been brought up with Herod. Now, this word here, we got to go here because this won't show up for some reason with the NSAB plus. So if I go ahead to KJV plus, it shows up, and this word right here is tetrakase. Tetrakase, and it's the meaning of it is from Greek 5064 and Greek 757. The ruler of a fourth part of a country. Tetrakase. Okay, and Saul. Okay, so going back here to this word here, let's go back to the NSAB plus. Going back here to this word, it says the pronunciation is Niger, and it's of Latin origin. Black, Niger, a Christian, Niger. Okay? So it doesn't mean either black or Christian. It means black Christian. Because it doesn't say black or Christian. Okay? It's labeled, it's bringing out both of these words. So this word means black Christian. Now, does it tie into the actual word that's being used today. So let's see. Because we just saw it here. Let's go back. Now, here, when we look at it in Acts, it says it is of Latin origin and it means black Christian. Well, when we go here, it says origin, English, Latin, and English, Negro. But there it is, Latin. That word we just saw, which means black. This word that is so offensive means black Christian. Now, all right, let me not laugh, but it's a trip when you really just do a little bit of research. This is a little bit of research we did. We see this word means black Christian, people. Now you see a lot of times these people was saying that. Yes, they're using it in a nasty tone and they made it a nasty word. But it means black Christian. If you're going to be offended that, and it also ties into, because that's what they did with all slaves. They made them into Christians. Be offended that you've been, you've had a lie instilled into you. That New Testament has nothing to do with the Old Testament. It is a farce, and it has caused nothing but harm. And that's why all this trickery that is associated with Christianity, with the Antichrist doctrine and all these different doctrines that you can't see any writing on, outweighs stuff like this. I can sit here and show you all this that I show you that's in writing. But because it's been instilled in us as we were kids, it's strong and it holds on to you like an addiction. You understand? But if you humble yourself and look for the meaning of things rather than the feeling of things, look at things in an objective manner and not a subjective manner, you'll be fine. That's what you have to train yourself to do, because we have been trained to look at things not objectively, but subjectively. That's what we have been instilled to understand things. That's what's been instilled in us. We have to break that, and we have to teach ourselves better habits. I mean, even when it comes to the scripture about the love of money, they say in the New Testament that the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Here, let's talk about this real quick. Like, this is the trickery, man. You gotta understand what the trickery is. You gotta identify it. Once you identify the trickery, find out what the actual meaning is. Or excuse me, when you actually look for the actual meaning, or you see the actual meaning, then you can see what that trickery really is. So let's go to that scripture in the New Testament, because I talked about this briefly in my last talk. Let's see. So let's see here. So it's 1 Timothy 6:10. So 1 Timothy 6:10. Go here. 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy 6. Chapter 6, verse 10. It says, "For the love of money is a root of all sorts of injurious things. And by reaching out for this love, some have been led astray from the faith and have stabbed themselves all over with many pains." Well, let's look at it here as well. 1 Timothy, right? You said 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy was at 6:10. 1 Timothy 6, verse 10 says, "For the love of money is a root of all sorts of evil. And some, by longing for it, have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs." So it says the love of money is the root of all sorts of evil. So that's what the the New Testament states. All right. So let's look at some scriptures. Let's see what the Old Testament says when it comes to money. Let's start off in Ecclesiastes. In Ecclesiastes, it states, Ecclesiastes chapter 10. It says this: bread is made for laughter, and wine makes life enjoyable, but money answers every need. All right. Ecclesiastes 5:10. A lover of silver will never be satisfied with silver, nor a lover of wealth with income. This too is futility. These are the scriptures that the Old Testament. This is how old the Old Testament views money. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to another one. Proverbs. Proverbs 18, verse 11 states, the wealth of the rich is his fortified city. It is like a protective wall in his imagination. Okay? Now, let's look at the caution we should have of money. Starting off, Proverbs 11. In verse 28. The one trusting in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like the foliage. Proverbs 23. And verse 4. Do not wear yourself out to gain wealth. Stop and show understanding. Deuteronomy 17, verse 7. Oh, now this is speaking about the king. Now this was an order to the king. This is out of Deuteronomy 17. And I'll read all these things that were ordered to the king. 17:17. It states, neither should he, speaking about the king, take many wives for himself, so that his heart. Matter of fact, let me see. However we. These are a lot of things. This is talking about the king. If you want to go back at the beginning of this, hold on. I guess, let me see. If a case arises, let's see something. Here, let me find it real quick. Okay, so here in the beginning of 14, it starts off. I just want to show you that it's actually talking about the king. It says, when you enter the land that Yahweh your God is giving you, and you have taken possession of it, and are living in it, and you say, let me appoint a king over myself, like all the nations around me. Okay, so you see it's talking about the king. In that case, you should without fail appoint a king whom Yahweh your God chooses. You should appoint a king from among your brothers. You are forbidden to appoint over yourself a foreigner who is not your brother. All right, so I'll let you. So I did that to show you that this is talking about the king. So let's go ahead and read 17. Neither should he take many wives for himself, so that his heart may not go astray. Nor should he acquire vast amounts of silver and gold for himself. So that's what it's talking. That's what it says about money when it comes to the king. Okay, so now you see that there's a drastic different type of view when it comes to money and contrast between these two testaments. Why is that? Why all this opposition if they're supposed to be in harmony with one another? It shows you that they're not, people. Not only does it show you that it's not, I mean, it's just too many conflictions. But that is the life. When you are searching for the truth, these are the things that you see. The truth opens your eyes to the things that you have been instilled to hold dear. Now, not that it takes away from anything, at least not for me. I know the Most High God is real, man. Like, all this confusion and all these lies, these things, they're not done for no reason. I mean, if there was no God, you wouldn't have a need to do all these things. That's what you have to understand. So you have to get over the grief. You have to get over the frustration. And you just have to continue to move forward. That's all we can do. But what I would say is observe this law when it comes to the morality of things, and see that, and that's how I see that a lot of these things are true, because when I look at the things that are being done now in contrast with the things that the Most High God was telling Israel not to do, we see that everything that he was telling them not to do is what's being promoted right now, people. All of it. So, I mean, it shows you ain't no such thing as a coincidence from in between thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things are being done right now and promoted in a great way. It's a whole lot of trickery going on out here. But I just wanted to speak about these things today, because that N word, it means black Christian people. And this love of money being the root of all evil is a farce. This is how you free yourself. This is how you free yourself from mental bondage. So, in conclusion, continue to be strong. Continue to search. You know, if you have anything to add to anything that I have to say, I'm very much open to it. Because, like I said, I can be corrected in anything. And it's about sharpening one another's minds. It's about a transference of knowledge and understanding. That's how we get better. And to exercise and cultivate humility and reason. That's what needs to be cultivated in our society right now. Because right now, the only things that I see being cultivated the most is foolishness, violence, unreasonableness. It's just nonsense. All the bad things, man, that corrupt and bring destruction to a people are the things that are being cultivated the most. And it's time for people that have minds that are beyond this nonsense to stand up and to speak about these things and to come together, you know, because all of the bad things are they have the spotlight right now, and it permeates everything within the fabric of this society, and that's why we have so many problems. So what I would have to say in conclusion is continue to be strong. Continue to pray to the Most High God, Yahweh. And may he bless you with his spirit. May he bless you with understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And may he bless you with strength and the will to do what is right. Peace be with all who choose the righteous path. Until next time.